Released by Square Enix in 2017 on the PlayStation 4, Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep: A Fragmentary Passage would serve as a prologue chapter to Kingdom Hearts 3. Written and directed by series creator Tetsuya Nomura, the game was part of the Kingdom Hearts 2.8 compilation disc, running on the same engine as Kingdom Hearts 3. For story, we see what happens to Aqua after the end of Birth by Sleep, and then her involvement with the end of the first Kingdom Hearts up until the events of past Kingdom Hearts 2, and we glimpse into the events directly leading into Kingdom Hearts 3. For gameplay, the mechanics and style of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep are worked into the battle system of Kingdom Hearts 2, as we fight similar and new threats. Fragmented versions of the worlds Aqua has visited before reappear, and though the game introduces more puzzles and character customization opportunities between the main encounters, the journey is a straightforward and linear experience with no real exploration. The story only gets larger from here, so let's cut it down to size with a recapitation. As the game opens, we see Lucio with no name in hand observe the appearance of Kingdom Hearts, and we then jump to the present where Master Yen Sid informs Mickey, Riku, and Kairi that battle with Xehanort draws near. They must now work to retrieve Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, though Ventus's heart refuses to waken, and Aqua is in a place inescapable without outside help. Mickey now steps in to recount his encounter with Aqua in the Realm of Darkness. As the game begins, we are some time after the events of Birth by Sleep, and Master Aqua is in the Realm of Darkness. In the Dark World, she is surprised to find Cinderella's castle in the distance. She reflects that time does not exist in the Realm of Darkness, so she has no idea how much time has actually passed in the Realm of Light. Approaching the Castle of Dreams, she spots the clock on the castle chime and advance suddenly as the ground collapses before her in tandem. She soon learns by rewinding the clock she can restore the walkway in this land of no time, and does so, encountering a new formation of Heartless called a Demon Tower. Approaching the castle now, she's shocked to encounter Terra, but almost unsurprised to find he's just an illusion. She soon then passes into another fragmented world akin to Snow White, and spots an illusion of Ventus now, which reminds her to hold on to her mission to return to him and wake him up. Spotting a strange mirror, she's caught off guard by her own reflection as it grabs her and pulls her in. The celestial-trimmed mirror deposits her in a strange world within, where Aqua finds the doubt in her heart made manifest, and she duels with her own phantom. Escaping, she finds herself now in a fragmented version of the Enchanted Dominion, and after spotting more phantoms of Terra and Ventus, the Forest of Thorns actively blocks her way. Slashing through, not even the meddling of multiple Darkside Heartless slow down her pursuit. She pauses when running into a mob of Darksides, all feeding their darkness orbs into a massive orb of darkness above, and moves to confront it. Destroying the dozens of the colossal Heartless supporting the orb, she dispels all of it, and recovering her strength, she continues onward. Catching up to her friend's phantoms, she is pleasantly surprised to find Terra can now speak to her on his own. He doesn't seem to be able to see the phantom of a sleeping Ventus beside him, and doesn't recognize where he is. Aqua explains this is the Enchanted Dominion after it's been consumed by the darkness, and she finds it awfully suspicious he doesn't remember any of this. He explains that he is himself, but not quite, and her calling him Terra means she's seeing him in the way she remembers him. Because his heart is tied to the darkness is why they can communicate now, but he's just an illusion like Ventus, and they are both really in the outside world. He appeared now because when he looked inside of his heart, he heard her in the darkness, and came here. Even though he is lost in shadow himself, he urges her to forget about him and instead focus on the fact that Xehanort is trying to locate Ventus. Aqua says she hid Ventus away, but now Xehanort begins taking over Terra and confirms with Aqua that Ventus is in the Chamber of Waking. Terra struggles to hold himself back while confessing Xehanort is now a part of him, but as Aqua and Ventus are snatched by the darkness, Terra's lingering will explodes out to keep Xehanort at bay. Coming to, Aqua is rescued by Mickey, and before they can talk, another demon tower rises before them. As Mickey explains to Aqua, these creatures of darkness are called Heartless, as we are now in the events of Kingdom Hearts 1. Working together, they fend off the tower, and afterwards, Mickey is surprised to find Aqua here in the Realm of Darkness of all places, as the last time he saw her was 10 years ago. She explains her story with hiding Ventus and attempting to save Terra from the darkness, and Mickey explains he is now fighting against a force called the Heartless, which are devouring worlds and taking their hearts. He says if he can lock the door between the realms of light and dark on both sides, then he can protect the remaining worlds. Right now, he's searching for the key for this side of the door. Getting in was hard enough, and he was surprised to find a familiar light here at all. Teaming up, he's confident their light can guide the way forward. Following the light, they find themselves in the fragmented Destiny Islands, where Aqua remembers meeting Sora and Riku there, and had considered passing on the Keyblade to one of them, but because Terra had already gifted Riku with the power, she didn't. Mickey learns of this encounter for the first time and reveals he's working with Sora and Riku right now to seal the door. He also theorizes that because this is where the Keyblade appeared for them, then its counterpart Keyblade of Darkness must also be here. A swarm of Heartless called the Demon Tide now rushes out to attack, but between the Keyblade Masters they stem the violent flood and destroy it for good. Opening a strange door in a cave, they indeed find a Keyblade from the Dark Realm, but now Mickey explains they need to locate the door to Kingdom Hearts, and lock it from both sides. Getting out will still be hard, as hearts with light like theirs cannot leave through the door. Finding the door, Mickey says that while it's smaller than the Kingdom Hearts Aqua once knew, it's still the heart of many worlds, and while it's still incomplete, they cannot leave the door to it open, else darkness will keep escaping and destroy the remaining worlds. Seeing Riku now dash in, Mickey sees the players are in place to lock the door. A demon tide now storms in and heads for Riku, but Aqua intercepts it and holds it off. It knocks aside Mickey and pushes Aqua back to the door to the Fragmented Destiny Isles, but even on her own, Aqua is bolstered now with renewed hope to continue the fight for light even in the side of darkness. Elsewhere, Mickey steps in to fulfill his role of locking the door to Kingdom Hearts on his side with Riku, and as Aqua has won her battle, she sees the worlds that were consumed are now being restored again. As the fragmented world dissolves around her, Aqua now falls again into darkness, but she has not given up hope, as we next see her walk up to Ansem the Wise during the events of ending Kingdom Hearts 2. As time passes, we are now after the events of Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, and we see Mickey has only just now recounted the tale of Aqua's sacrifice to Riku, as if he had told him earlier, he knows Riku and or Sora would have rushed off to try and rescue her with no real means of return. However, things are different now, as Riku is now a Keyblade Master, and even Kairi is receiving Keyblade training alongside Lee from Merlin. Master Yen Sid now equips Mickey and Riku with new garbs to protect them from the darkness, and the duo head off now to enter the realm of darkness and rescue Aqua. A little later, Sora now returns to Donald, Goofy, and Yen Sid after doing something secret on his own, and he finds he just missed the departure of his friends. Master Yen Sid now explains to Sora he must also participate in the gathering of allies, even though he failed in acquiring the power of waking with the recent Mark of Mastery exam. Not to mention, he almost fell into darkness and became another Xehanort vessel, a process that stripped him of almost all his previous power. Sora remains optimistic all the same, and Yen Sid continues with mentioning they are analyzing the data Ansem the Wise gave to Riku from within Sora, and hopes the data can help them retrieve the lost hearts they seek. Despite all this, Sora is still the strongest chance they have to defeat Xehanort, and on his path of recovering his power, he needs to master the power of waking. Yen Sid mentions there is someone who can likely help Sora, a friend who's similarly lost all his power and came back stronger than before, and Sora picks up he's talking about his friend Hercules. As the game ends, Donald and Goofy volunteer to accompany Sora on his road to recovery, and while the old highways for their gummy ship have been resealed, Sora trusts his heart and the words of the Keyblade Masters of old. A new gate opens before them and they blast off into a new adventure. To date, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue has enjoyed the success of selling over 700,000 copies worldwide.